Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is the trade live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe P. Zapia, with me as always, the Undertaker himself, Andrew Erickson. It's you hanging out with us here, taking your questions, getting you the advice you need to make some trades. It's been fun to have real trades in the NFL, too. We are spoiled at this point, Andrew Erickson. Another one. Yesterday, Derek Brown and I broke down a little Diontae Johnson trade. I want to talk to you about him, too, because I want your take on this program. I'm sure you gave it on the podcast earlier today. But let's talk about the Diontae Johnson trade. Question for you. Does he have more value theoretically or in practice now that he is a Baltimore Raven?
I think his value is probably a neutral move, in my opinion, with Diontae Johnson. Obviously, you're getting the massive quarterback upgrade with Lamar Jackson over what he's basically had throughout his entire NFL career, where he really hasn't had that great of quarterbacks to work with, but he's always been a volume monster. So now he's putting a situation where he's not going to be a volume monster anymore. Like, he has to win with efficiency, which he has never done at any point in his NFL career. It's just been vacuuming up underneath targets. He is one of the worst career yards per target in NFL history. So I think this means for him, he's not going to be consistent. Like, you're not going to see him, double-digit targets every single week, lock and load Diontae Johnson, you have that floor. That's gone. He's going to have spiked weeks because of playing in this offense where they can score more touchdowns than any other team any given week. But the weeks that he doesn't score or makes that big play, then he's goose egg. Just like we've seen from Mark Andrews, just like we've seen from Isaiah Likely. You see the spikes with those guys, but it's really more the Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry show. And when one of those guys doesn't take on all the touchdowns, somebody else pops up. So I think Diontae's kind of added into that fold, but I don't think he's going to be consistent in any way, shape, or form unless there's an injury. We got a report from Justina Anderson, I believe, that said Bateman and Zay Flowers are still the 1 and 2 in the offense. So that also draws a little bit more concern about, well, what's Diontae's role as a player they're going to use for 8 weeks at the end of the season? How much volume is he going to see? How much time is he going to play? So that raises a lot of question marks about what he's going to be doing, especially with a quarterback he's never played with.
Well, I mean, of course they are right now. I mean, they know the playbook. So, yeah, they're the 1 and 2. That wasn't going to change overnight. but I expect it to change over time because one of these guys catches footballs consistently, and that guy's always been Diontae Johnson. Now, you're right.
Diontae
Oh no, but
Johnson.
for
I mean,
the Pittsburgh Steelers, he had some pretty solid years there.
He's had the drops. He's pretty much everywhere he's gone.
Yeah, but he's also had like 140 targets some years.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're going to drop some when you have 140, 150 targets. By the way, it still runs through King Derrick Henry. There you go. It still runs through there. All right. We'll talk more to all of you. Don't forget, everybody, the super chats are enabled today. So if you want your question answered in the first 10 minutes, we guarantee we'll get to your super chat question and you'll get priority. We can't get to everybody today. We're going to get to as many as we can. Let's start with Jason's question here. I'm 3-5. I have Achane and JT at running back. I am trying to trade JT for Hurts. I picked up Cousins and dropped Geno just in case. Does that trade work? Hall, Achane, and JT, trying to trade JT for Hurts. I mean, look, Hurts has been tremendous this season in terms of fantasy points. I guess the question is, do you want to get rid of the RB depth here in order to just get better at quarterback? It's not a super flex, obviously, here from the way these quarterbacks are moving around in this scenario. So what do you make of this one?
Yeah, I like going to get Hurts. I'm not sure this is the best method to do so with. Can he not start all three of those running backs every single week? Hall, Achane, and Jonathan Taylor? That's why.
Probably.
So I would just start those running backs. I mean, you can stream Cousins and Geno in terms of who has the better matchup. Those guys have had spiked games. Again, they're not going to be as consistent as Hurts has been, especially with his schedule. But I think there's a lot to. I personally don't like to pay a ton for quarterbacks because I feel like you can get that access to them, especially the way that he's laying this out, where you have Geno, you have Cousins just kind of hanging out, and you can use those guys as plug and play options. So I don't like this trade.
I do understand. I get the idea because it's not just a quarterback. It's the guy who, has been getting the rushing touchdowns the last couple of years. And he's, I'm where you are. I hate getting rid of the depth, especially because Achane probably doesn't feel like a sure thing at this point either. So I would keep JT as well, especially now that Flacco's QB. I imagine a lot more scoring potentially for the Colts if that's that move. I think is going to be rest of season or at least until the Colts are eliminated from playoff contention if they are. Peter's question: J-Mo and Waddle are on the waiver wire. Are any of them worth grabbing rest of season? I already have Neighbors, Olave, Wilson, Hopkins, and Tillman. Also, should I start Stafford over Allen for quarterback? Let's start with that last one. It's really hard to replace Allen, but I love the Stafford matchup this week. What are your thoughts on that? Is that a bridge too far?
I'm not benching Josh Allen.
I'm not.
I think that's bad. He's playing the Dolphins at home.
I agree.
Yeah.
Waddle are on the waiver wire, so I definitely want to pick up Waddle more than any of them.
I agree. So I'd drop Hopkins. Waddle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, or whoever's lower on their totem pole. Like, you don't have to drop a wide receiver necessarily, Jesse J, happy hump day. Would you drop Kraft or Andrews for Cade Otton?
I would drop Andrews if I had to drop one.
Yeah.
He's just not going to be consistent. Otton will be. So
yeah, Otton's on the field. All right, Mark, thank you so much. Let's get to some more questions here. Let's do Kent's question here. T. Higgins and Mooney for Aaron Judge, full PPR, hurting at RB. So Higgins and Mooney for Aaron Jones. It seems like a lot to give for Aaron Jones for me.
Well, if you have receiver depth and you're just trying to upgrade your running back position, I think that this is what you got to do. So I think it's fine.
Sir Haywood, should I trade Jakobi Meyers for Pittman in a full point PPR? I say yes. Absolutely. Especially now that Flacco's back in town, baby.
Yeah, I agree.
Derek and I got into a fight yesterday on the show. It was pretty
about what?
It was serious about the replacement of Anthony Richardson. And I was saying that it's the right thing to do because forget your fantasy. The Colts have a chance to make the playoffs in the AFC because so many teams in the AFC have been bad. And teams that you expected to be in that playoff mix, like the Dolphins, like the Jets, they're not. So go take a shot here and see if Joe Flacco can get you there, considering Gardner Minshew got you there last year. And Anthony Richardson's numbers are absolutely abysmal by every metric you could possibly look for. And I understand like not wanting to kill the kid's confidence, but at the same time, when he's pulling himself out of games, what are you supposed to do? Did you have any thoughts on the whole Joe Flacco move? I thought it was the right call from a football standpoint. I mean, screw your dynasty teams. The Colts don't care about your dynasty teams.
I think that it makes sense from a standpoint of you want to do right by the guys in the locker room. You want to give your team the best chance to win any given week. And I think it's pretty clear that that's Flacco, just from what we saw when Flacco played earlier this season. He gave them their best chance to win games. And that's not to say that Flacco is going to play elite. I mean, he is elite, number one, but if he falls off in any way, then they can go back to Richardson. It's not like this means Richardson is done forever. He's never going to play quarterback in the NFL ever again.
Right.
Look, maybe this is good for him. Again, take a step back, learn on the bench again. How many people wrote off Tua after he got benched his rookie year for Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Sure.
And
Great
then,
point.
what do you know? He made a comeback. So again, I don't think this is the final chapter on Richardson. I think that this is the perfect time to buy him in dynasty leagues all over the board, because I think that it's doom and gloom with him basically all over the place. But we still know, again, back to week 1, top 5 fantasy quarterback. The upside is still there with him. So yeah, I think it's going to take a little bit longer than we hoped.
Jose, what's up, fellas? In a must-win game this week, do I stick with Denver defense, or do I pick up the Chargers, Buffalo, or Chicago? Also, keep Breece Hall in the flex or put Devonta in there.
You got to take a step back. You're starting to overthink things. I know that we get, I got a must-win this week, but just take a step back, take a breath. You're starting Breece Hall. You're not taking him out of your lineup. You're starting Breece Hall. It doesn't really matter. You're not starting a receiver over him.
For Chargers are the highest ranked defense of all the ones that he's looking at this week from the ECR. Cleveland, the matchup here, but Cleveland obviously is going to have a little bit more offense than they used to have. So I don't want to start the Bengals defense necessarily. I know it's against Vegas. I get that. And then the other one he's looking at is the Buffalo situation there. So I don't know. I mean, Chargers, I still take my shot there for turnovers.
Yeah. Chargers have been a real life good defense. Jameis Winston, I know that he won the game, but if Kyle Hamilton just catches the interception, then that's points. That's points with the Ravens defense. So
hell yeah. And he's full of interceptions. That's one thing.
Yes.
Interceptions and incredible pre and post game speeches. That's what he's good for. Andrew Scanlon,
guy from Detroit.
Oh my God, it's so good. Full PPR, trade away Hunt and Bateman for Kamara. Yes, I'm all for that. 100%.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's go to Awesome Dev's question. Hi, bros. Would you trade McLaurin and Monty for CD? McLaurin and Monty for CD? Yes, I would. Start Mahomes or Stafford. Now, this is closer. I would start Stafford this week against Seattle, personally. How about you?
I'm starting Patrick Mahomes. He's playing the Buccaneers.
Well, Stafford's playing the Seattle Seahawks with both of his real wide receivers.
I'm starting Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, look, I don't think you're going to lose on that. And then defense, KC, Broncos, or Titans here.
Titans.
KC against Tampa is where I got to go.
Titans.
All right, so we difference of opinion there too. Sorry, Dev. Hope that helps. Mommy and Daddy are fighting.
I want to play the defense against Jakobi Brissett.
It's fair. It's fair. You mean the Jakobi Brissett team that just beat the Jets last week?
I think the Jets beat the Jets. Let's be real.
The Jets have been beating the Jets for a long time. Full PPR and 4-4. I have Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jaden Reed, and Devontae Smith. Is it a solid idea to trade Reed or Smith for Deebo while he's on the bye? Nope. I'm not doing it. I like the group you have. I'm staying put. What do you think?
I think I would trade Smith for Deebo.
That's the one I'm more apt to do, but it's just Deebo's health historically has always been an issue.
But we also know the upside he can be without Ayuk. He can be a total difference maker. I mean, he's risky, right? He's definitely more risky. And Devonta Smith,
I'll take the safe, boring Devonta Smith down the stretch because I think the Eagles are really starting to get it. Like they seem like a team that's really okay, we've righted the ship here. The new coordinators, everybody's finally had some more time to work together. It feels like things are going in the right direction. Oh, I thought you had more thoughts on that.
Oh, no.
Silence.
No more.
I was sipping water. I thought you'd have more to say. Dylan got offered DK, Marvin Harrison Jr., Xavier Worthy, Rashod White for JJ, Waddle, and Javonte. I'm not trading Justin Jefferson. Sorry. No.
Okay. Yeah.
What, you are for that? I'm not trading for DK. No, that's crazy. That's crazy town, man. Crazy town. Let's get to Phil's question here. Jamar Chase for Terry McLaurin, Bucky, JMO, and Brooks. I want the Chase side. Because I don't know how useful those other rando pieces are going to be. Give me the great player.
Yeah, I mean, unless you are 2-6 or something and you can start all those guys you're trading Chase for, which I don't think you can, then yeah, I want the best player side, which is Chase.
Thanks, Josh. We see a lot of people in the super chat in here. Also, don't forget, we got a lot of cool things going here at Fantasy Pros, including an awesome opportunity for you to win the Trophy Smack giveaway. That's right. This is going on again. This time we're doing the Wall Smack giveaway. We've done this one a few times, but we've got it again for you. So if you missed out, this is your opportunity to win the Trophy Smack Wall Smack from our friends over at TrophySmack.com, the #1 destination for epic fantasy football trophies. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below. That's it. That's all you got to do. And don't forget to ring the bell till it goes ding so you know if you are the big winner of our latest Trophy Smack Wall Smack giveaway. These things are pretty ridiculously cool. I'm not going to lie. They let everybody know that fantasy football is not just your life. It's a lifestyle brand. And Andrew Erickson knows a thing or two about lifestyle brands. Let's go to H-Town for the next question. McBride for Mooney and Moore. The guy has likely. Well, I mean, if that's the starting tight end. Wait, McBride for Mooney and Moore. Like, what side do you want to be on here?
I want McBride.
Want Mooney and Moore.
I want McBride.
Yeah. I want Mooney and Moore. Boy, we are not seeing eye to eye.
McBride, the touchdowns are coming. He's got the most receiving yards without a touchdown yet this year. It's going to happen for him
waiting
sooner.
for George R. Martin and South Park episodes to order the pizzas. The pizzas are coming, everybody. The dragons and the pizzas are all coming. Tally ho! Time to buy CMC. Could package Brooks in something. Well, Brooks practiced today, so now everybody's dancing around. Remember, I said double digits. I said week 10, maybe you get Jonathan Brooks where you maybe feel good about starting him. I don't think Brooks is enough to get CMC. Sorry. Not now.
Yeah, I mean, tally ho, if you can make that happen, make it happen.
Go for it. But I mean, what's something else? Is this something else like DK Metcalf? I mean, at this point, it's got to be something substantial because we're on the precipice. Riley Weiss traded CMC and Stevenson for Derrick Henry. Thoughts? I'm 3-5. I love it, especially because you can't play CMC this week and you can play Derrick Henry. Let's go. Get yourself back in it and then worry about week 14 when week 14 rolls around. Right, Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
Can I get a better? That was a very like. Oh, they got, there you go. Little attitude. Put a little attitude on it. Breaking news here. The Saints are optimistic that Derek Carr will play this week. Yay. Hooray, everyone. That's very exciting. Rob is also excited. Trade AJ or a combo of Pollard and BTJ for CMC or hold. Don't trade AJ Brown for him. I'm not doing that one. What about BTJ and Pollard? That's more interesting.
I guess I just feel like I'm not a good person to ask for CMC trades because I don't feel like I have a very good read on the situation. I think that's probably fair value, especially given Brian Thomas is also banged up. But yeah, I don't think that we're out of the woods. I just like how the last report we got was he's going to be doing these simulated practice. I'm just imagining him with like a VR headset in the practice facility, just like moving around. Like, all right, McCaffrey's back in practice, so. Yeah, we shall see. I really am looking forward to seeing how this second half plays out for the 49ers. But yeah, we'll wait and see.
Look, man, I think that Pollard and BTJ came at little draft capital, and you've gotten a decent amount out of them. If you want to flip them for the chance at CMC, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you have to understand the risk you're taking on. Yeah. Bam! Trade Diontae and Dowdle for JT. If you could do it, yeah, I'd rather have JT, especially now the Flacco's playing.
Yep.
Right? We good on that one. All right, next one here. We've got Medina's question. Half PPR. Do I start Diontae or Downs? Picked up both. I think this week you start Downs.
I want Downs rest of the season. I would trade Diontae for Downs. Would you not?
Well, I think they're okay. They're just starting. They've got them both already.
No, but I'm asking you that question. Would you sell Diontae for Downs?
Joe Flacco? Yes. Joe Flacco, baby. Hero ball 101. Just throwing balls out there. Just go deep. Go deep. Let's go. Donnell. Question here. Do I trade for an RB1? I have Achane, Stevenson, and Chubb, Harris, and Pacheco. Wide receivers are stacked with Puka, Tyreek, Jefferson. I'm on raw. Oh my God. Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper. It's a 10-team league. Okay. 2 flex, keep wide receivers, or trade one for a solid RB. 2 flex. I'm playing all these wide receivers. Chubb is trending in the right direction. I know next week he's got to buy, but I think you're fine with Harris, Achane, Stevenson, as long as Chubb after week 11 just continues to look as good as I thought last week he looked very sharp. I traded for him in a league that we're in together just this morning. So I'm in. What about you?
I don't mind trading one of these wide receivers to get can't you trade Tyreek Hill to get Saquon Barkley? And then you have a #1 running back on your team. How bad is losing Hill on this team, right? You have Puka, trade one of the Rams receivers in case one of them doesn't.
I think Amari Cooper has the most inflated value of all these guys. Like that's the guy that I would start there. And if that didn't work, then you can move all the way up to Tyreek. But it's got to be a difference maker running back. I think that's
why
the thing.
That's why I said Barkley.
Right. It's got to be Barkley, Kyron Williams, Bijan, Derrick Henry. Yeah, is Joe Mixon in that class right now?
I would say so. I mean, just
All right.
based on his per game
I bet
numbers.
Mixon for Amari Cooper is a deal you could probably
I
get
mean, not
close to.
after this week where Amari Cooper did nothing. That's the only thing. He sucked
Well, I
last
mean, you
week.
might be able to sell his slow burn, but that's Amari Cooper, right? He's great or terrible. Should I trade Dell for Pacheco? I mean, if it's a roster situation, I think it's fine. Like, I
I'd
need
rather
RB, you
I'd
need
rather
wide receiver.
I'd rather keep Dell. I don't like the Pacheco. I mean, he's coming off a broken leg. How effective? He's just going to go back to being. I mean, we saw Tank Dell break his leg last year, and he hasn't looked normal. So that's my concern.
Fair. Mickey J, would you trade Mostert for Keenan Allen? Sure.
Yeah.
I'm out on the Mostert. Is Jader, would Baker and James Conner be worth Jahmyr Gibbs?
Probably not. You can try.
I would
wouldn't move
say
that return if I'm being honest.
hard no. Ishmael, Dak on the waiver wire, and I have Mahomes and Tua. What do you think about looking forward to the playoff schedule with a flex? Look, the flex question is, it looks like Javonte Williams or Hopkins. So I want to play Javonte here.
I'm not playing Javonte against the Ravens. You can play him. I'll play Hopkins against the Bucks.
Yeah, I'll take my chances there. But it's fine. I just don't know if Hopkins is going to be ready yet. This one here, again, I hate having all these quarterbacks in my roster. To me, it's like, if you're going to just play Mahomes at this point, rest of season, like you're in it, just play Mahomes. I would drop Tua and I would just be playing Mahomes rest of season and having more opportunities to have better flex options. Like, is Tillman on the waiver wire? Is Downs on the waiver wire? Like, that's what I'd be doing here, Ishmael. What about you?
Yeah, I don't want 3 quarterbacks. I'm just looking at the playoff schedule.
I don't want
right now
2.
to make sure.
Once one's past the bye, I just want the best one and I want to roll. Why
Yeah,
do I
that's
want to
also-
clog up
that's
roster
also-
space?
If I want to keep 2 quarterbacks, then I would drop 2 and pick up Dak because he's alluding to, or this person's alluding to, Dak plays the Bengals, Panthers, and Buccaneers. And
Yes,
the
that's
fantasy
definitely the
football.
right.
So Dak is the guy you want to hold on to.
Correct. But then you got to start playing Dak, in which case you're going to play Dak, then drop Mahomes too, or trade Mahomes. Like, we got bye weeks coming up here. People are going to need help. Angel, Aaron Jones for Bowers and Dobbins in a standard league. What side do you want to be on? I have Chase Brown, Rico, and Chubb. Also have Kraft.
I don't mind moving off Jones because you're getting, yes, slight downgrade, I think, with Dobbins, but then you're getting a locked and loaded stud at tight end. And so I like diversifying a running back that has an injury track record for, I guess, another running back with an injury track record, but then you get the tight end also involved. So
yeah, I would
like
do
that.
it too.
Yeah.
I'm with you. All right, next one here is from Marley Marr, Chuba, Jakobi, Meyers, or Dalton Kincaid in the flex this week. Full PPR. The only reason I'm considering flexing Kincaid is I have Josh Allen. I don't care about all that stuff. I just want the best players in. I worry about Chuba now, just from where we're at with this Carolina Panthers team, and especially if he's going to start to lose some touches here, maybe to Brooks this week. So I'm okay with Meyers and Kincaid. If you have to have
it's only 1.
Oh, it's only 1 in the flex. I would still go Meyers then.
I will play Chuba. He's playing the Saints, and their defense is horrible.
There you go. All right, let's go to Marcel's question here. Is Kupp a reliable wide receiver 1, or do I upgrade if I'm 6-2? He's reliable when healthy. It's the when healthy. That's the problem.
Would you rather have Kupp or Deebo Samuel?
Kupp. I'm not a Deebo guy.
I'd rather have Deebo. Rather have Deebo.
There you go. Let's see if I can find a guy that we'd both rather have. Would you rather have
Jaden Reed or Kupp?
Oh, Jaden Reed.
All right.
So
go make the move.
There's your guy.
Go make the move, Marcel.
Did you agree?
Going to get Jaden Reed, yeah.
Cooper Kupp, okay. Yeah. Hunter Van Hollen. Lost Godwin, have Waddle as my wide receiver 2 now. Worth exploring a trade to to dump Javonte Williams. Not jump him. You don't want to jump him. He's done nothing wrong. We're not trying to beat up Javonte Williams in an alley somewhere. Dump Javonte Williams, have Kyron and Connor as my RBs. What's Javonte's value? So trying to flip Javonte for a wide receiver. I assume you're looking at the Zay Flowers, Tank Dell, Darnell Mooney kind of grouping, right? Maybe DJ Moore. Like that could be a guy.
After he bombed against the Panthers. I don't think that's gonna fly.
DJ Moore is not exactly lighting up the stat sheet the last couple weeks.
I agree.
20 yards receiving, a bye, and then 27 yards receiving. So he's got 1 game over 100 yards this year. You might be able to pull that off.
I think you're fishing more in the Calvin Ridley, Cortland Sutton area, to be honest with Javonte. If I'm being realistic, I think that's really more what you're going to get for him in return.
Look at this one from Q. Big spender. Love y'all. You guys got me the week high last week. Nice. Good job. With Mahomes. This is from Q. And looking to do better. Do I start him or Burrow this week? So Mahomes or Burrow. Let's look at the tail of the tape between these two guys. As you mentioned before, Joe Burrow against Vegas, and then Mahomes against Tampa. He is at home. And Joe Burrow is also at home this week. So thoughts between Burrow and, again, here we go. It's like at this point, you should just pick one of them, and I would just pick Mahomes and trade Burrow away and just roll Mahomes out every week.
This week, I'll just play Burrow. That's what I would do.
Fair. All right. If you have the two quarterbacks, you can afford to do it. There you go. Danny C, $5 here from Danny. Way to go, Danny. Barkley, Achane, Hunt, Higgins, Waddle, Puka, Jennings, Williams. Should I entertain any trades for Tyrone Tracy, Downs, or Tillman in a PPR? Trading for Tracy, Downs, or Tillman. Jennings, I'd love to get rid of, to be honest with you. I'm just a little frustrated with him right now. When CMC coming back, a lot of target share is going to go to him theoretically. Jameson Williams is really frustrating. I would like to get, if you could trade Jennings and get either Downs or Tillman, I would do that in a second. I don't know if you can pull it off, but I would try.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Jameson Williams, I don't know what is going on with this guy. I think I'm cool. Just if I can get rid of him, I think I'm going to be happy, and I would rather have Josh Downs. So I would make that move.
I agree. I was going to say that about Williams too, but I don't want to get any flack for it. But I kind of agree with you there.
There's clearly
there's
something
he's
not connecting the dots on some of this stuff, man. Like every time we look up,
he's not wired
doing right things. Yeah.
There's some kind of issue there.
Yeah.
Let's go to Swolby. Swolby one Kenobi. Got Malik Neighbors, Olave Tillman, got Worthy and Coleman on the bench. Starting Burrow over Baker and starting Brees and King Henley, Nico on IR. Any advice? So Neighbors and Olave in, especially with Carr coming back, Tillman in. I would leave Worthy and Coleman on the bench. I'm not starting Coleman over Olave this week if Carr is back. Agreed?
Yep.
Burrow over Baker. Agreed?
Mm-hmm.
And then Brees and King Henry. I think we're good. You just got to wait for Nico to get healthy. The one thing, if you do have Tillman, this is the high point to sell him. I want to talk about that for a second because I did trade this morning Tillman for Nick Chubb, half PPR. I needed some RB help. I'm happy with this deal. Deebo brought up yesterday, he's going to have some really tough corner matchups coming up here between Pittsburgh and Denver and a couple other. He gets Pittsburgh twice in a short period of time. Is this the peak value of Tillman? Like if you actually did get him and you picked him up and he had this huge week, I know it's fun and you don't want to just turn around and flip a guy, but we talk about selling at the peak. I don't know if it gets better than last week.
No, I mean, the Ravens are one of the worst defenses and they didn't have half their starting cornerbacks in the game. So right. Yeah, this might be his best performance all season. And again, as much as I like Tillman as a prospect coming out, you have to be realistic. The process says you got to sell high when the iron is hot, and his iron, Cedric Tillman's, is smoking right now. So I think that, yeah, you got to put him on the block. It's always weird, though, with guys you get off the waiver wire, because I feel like you don't really get that much value on trading them. So I think he's probably just going to end up being a hold. But if you can package him to move up, I think he's definitely worth entertaining, putting on the block, and just kind of see who bites.
I used the trade analyzer before I made this deal, and it said that I was going to move up a certain amount in terms of overall standings. And I agreed before I even put into the trade analyzer. So I encourage everybody out there, use the tools at my playbook, including the trade analyzer. If we don't get to your question today, you can get instant evaluations of the trades and even use the trade finder to think about trades you've never even thought about. Let the tools work for you, but the trade analyzer, a fantastic tool. I've been using it all season. I've sent Derek 2 trades today in a league and he has not responded to any. I even texted him. He still hasn't gotten back to me. Now, my playbook can't help you with that, but it can help you at least understand what trades can help your roster going forward. Again, you can find it at the amazing suite of tools over at My Playbook. Download the app today, wherever you get your apps, or just go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. Let's get to Robert's question here. Robert, hi guys. I have AJ Brown as my number 1 receiver. Who to start? Pick 3 for this week. Olave, Tillman, Waddle, and Downs. All right, let's get these guys in here. So Olave with Carr in, yes?
Yes.
All right, so Tillman, Waddle, Downs. Who's next?
So he's got to start 3 of those receivers. So yeah, it's Olave, Waddle, and Downs.
Olave, Waddle, and Downs, I'm good with that. Also, I don't want to mess this up. Hurts and Winston are my 2 QBs. So, yeah, I mean, look, you're in a good spot there. Just keep on plugging away. It's a good group, too, and you're going to need that kind of depth weeks 12 and week 14. It's going to get ugly. Apocalypse is coming. Here's one from Jonathan. I got offered Cedric Tillman for Elijah Moore and Slayton. Elijah Moore and Slayton for Tillman. I take that. I take that swing.
I'd want the Tillman side.
I want the Tillman side, too. I'm not trying to get rid of Tillman completely, but someone's going to give you, a good value of something that's more proven. I would strongly consider it. And I'm the guy that told you about Tillman before anybody else. Steven Marchand, Chase Brown, and Waddle for Jaden Daniels. I have Love. Well, Love is trying everything to play this week, which I get it because they're playing the Lions. I'm worried that he's going to have a bigger issue if he does play. I don't think you can get I don't think you can get Jaden Daniels for Waddle and Chase Brown. I don't think you can pull that off, personally.
Yeah, I think I would just fingers crossed that Jordan Love is okay.
Just go straight. Look, just go pick up Matthew Stafford. He's available in 70% of leagues and probably in single quarterback leagues, more like 80 or 90. Just pick up Matthew Stafford and stream him this week and move about your day. Looking to trade McBride or Ferguson for a wide receiver. Who? Ideen's Chanel. McBride or Ferguson for a wide receiver. Well, I imagine McBride's going to give you back more. So you have to make that choice. But Erickson, I think you'd be hesitant to deal McBride, right?
No, I just because I think the best is yet to come for McBride. The Cardinals' schedule gets
you're
a lot
hesitant
better.
to deal him.
Yeah, I wouldn't because I don't think you're going to get as much as you want for him when I think that the production is coming. So McBride, yes, I think you'd get more for him. But if I was looking to move Ferguson, I'm just looking at my rest of the season rankings. Yeah, I think Pittman's probably the player just because he's been so bad without an actual.
He's been good with Flacco though. Yeah. Those 2 weeks are good with Flacco. He was. I
will say though, I would rather have Downs than Pittman rest of season because Downs has been good.
That's fair. That's fair. What about Keenan Allen? Would you rather have Keenan Allen too? Is that another guy in that mix that makes sense in terms of Ferguson value? Like Ferguson's not going to bring you back big. Like Ferguson gives you Mooney, maybe Pittman on the low, Keon Coleman. It's the back end of wide receiver 3. I think that's what you're looking at. Medina picked up Downs and Tillman. Start 1 this week. Half PPR.
Downs.
Alexander, what's up, y'all? Thoughts? Aaron Jones for Deebo. Give me the Jones side.
I think it's fair. It depends on what you need a receiver running back.
Jeff, pros lost Godwin and Rice. I have Pittman and Waddle and Tillman. Have Hall, Kyron, and Mason. Trade Kyron for Metcalf and Connor. No, I want to keep Kyron and let Pittman now be better. Well, Pittman and Waddle just got quarterback play back. So I just sit tight and let that unfold. I'm not moving Kyron. He's been too consistent. That's more I'm at. I don't know about you.
No, yeah, this is kind of a weird. He's got a weird setup because you drafted Pittman and Waddle probably before Godwin and Rice, and then you were starting those guys, but then they both got hurt, right. And then you couldn't start Waddle and Pittman because they didn't have quarterbacks, but now they do. So you're kind of back to square one where you're starting.
This is like even Steven, man. You just keep riding the wave. I would just ride the wave. I think Kyron for Metcalf and Connor is okay, but Metcalf's not healthy, so I don't know, man. I would just ride the Pittman Waddle train here now that they both got quarterbacks.
Unless, I mean, hey, again, if they flop for another straight week, maybe revisit this trade and say, okay, well, maybe they're not as okay as I thought they would be. All right, maybe revisit, but give them a chance.
Yeah, give them a week here. Crooked Knicks giveaway Cup and Montgomery for Puka. Monty 4th. Not sure what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Monty 4th be with you, Andrew. Oh. No, I don't know. I have no idea. Giveaway Cup and Montgomery for Puka. I think that's a lot.
But I want Puka. So if this is
how much higher is Puka than Cup in your rankings rest of season? Like significantly?
I mean, I think Puka is a top 10 guy and Cooper Cup is not.
Okay, well, there's your answer, everybody. Let's go to Monthome, McMillan or Cincy DST on the waiver wire. Well, I mean, I don't know who the other defense is you want to replace. Cincinnati defense is meh. So drop Rashod for one of these pieces. If I'm streaming a defense, I drop the other defense. I'm not keeping 2 defenses. That's correct. My thought on this one.
I have no allegiance to any defense where I feel the need I have to have 2 on my roster. I don't care.
Jason William offered my Ferguson Pacheco for his Bowers and McLaurin. Half PPR, which RB do I drop to complete the deal? Braylon Allen or Dowdle? I would... you have Brees. I guess you hold on to Allen. ugh. I'd
Yeah.
rather hold on to Dowdle, but I think it's probably safer for you to hold on to Allen.
Yeah, I think because this always happens. The minute that you drop Allen, you know Brees Hall's going to get banged up, and then you're going to, oh no. So just keep Allen.
That's
Play it
probably
safe.
true.
Play it safe.
Native got an offer here to give up Gibbs for J.K. Dobbins, Moser, and a third rounder. No, hard pass. Nope. I don't even want to read the rest of this question. It's a hard no, Native. Hard no. Nick, what's happening, my dogs? PPR, Ridley, and Warren for Connor. Ridley and Warren for Connor. I'm good with that.
Yes, I like that.
Sell off Ridley. Move along. Let's go to VR's question here. 4 and 4 got offered Jonathan Taylor for AJ Brown. I have Cup, Chase, Dell, and Diontae Johnson. RB, Ramondre, Rashod, White, Chase Brown, and Jalen Warren. Jonathan Taylor for AJ Brown. I'm keeping AJ Brown.
I'm also keeping AJ Brown. Already had his bye week. That is significant. Right. The Eagles have the best schedule you could ask for rest of season. So
Jesse J, thank you both. I have Denver defense. Would you stream Commanders this week? No, I would stick with the Denver defense. They've been very good. I know it's a tricky matchup, but Denver defense has been solid from a fantasy standpoint. Wine bites. That sounds, I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious, and I want some. Wine bites. Let's go. Hey, bros, contract league with a $500 limit. Ooh, here we go. Now we're getting something salty. Keep 10. Half PPR 1D. I'm not
first
sure
down.
what that means.
It's
for
half
first
point
down. Okay.
for first down.
Thank you very much. Trade Rice at $24, Ramondre at 61, 18 at 66, and Waddle at 52 for Derrick Henry at 169. I'm 11 and 5. Henry team is done for the year. So basically, Rice, you're giving up. I assume this is like keeper contracts, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I've got Henry for the rest of this year. I'm 11 and 5. I have a chance to win a championship. I do this. It doesn't matter the rest of your roster. I see the rest of it. I think it's a lot to give, but not too much because ATN hasn't been healthy. Ramondre's been mid. Waddle has, again, we're still waiting, and Rice won't be back till sometime next year and still has a suspension looming. Give me Henry for the next 2 years, depending on what the escalators are, if any.
Yeah. I mean, if this person's trying to make a run, Henry's the guy you want on your team. Like, I think
that's the kind of league. That's the kind of league that a lot of people are having wine bites and drafting. It's like you're in a league like that. You're definitely into wine.
Gonna need some wine for those.
Seriously, Jamie Ahern. Do my eyes deceive me? Does this say 12? Oh, 12 team PPR. Okay, sorry. I thought it said 12-point PPR for a second there.
What a
7 and 1.
That would be in.
I was like, what?
How many points?
These are crazy numbers. I have Mixon, Jacobs, CMC, JJ, AJ Brown, Neighbors, and Kelsey. Scared Kelsey won't do enough of the playoffs if Chiefs clinch. Forget that. Who should I target? No, just stay put. You're fine. You're not going to find better options than Kelsey out there.
I mean,
and I don't want to break up what you have.
I mean, if you are concerned, I would just send every offer for every tight end that's ranked above Kelsey in rest of season rankings and just see if anyone bites. Bowers, McBride.
Kelsey was good last week. He's trending better.
I mean, I'd still rather have Bowers and McBride. So
you can flip him. I don't know. I would just stay put. Ryan Hill, $5 here for Ryan. Way to go, Ryan. Okay, basically a 3-team trade, but essentially I give Burrow, Pollard, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and get back Lamar, Jacobs, BTJ. I really want Lamar, but I don't want to blow up the team. So give up Burrow, Pollard, Amon-Ra, and get back Lamar, Jacobs, and BTJ. Lamar over Burrow, Jacobs, and Pollard. I'm Jacobs, and then I hate losing, but you've won 2 of the 3 here, so I'm okay with this. What do you think?
Yeah, and when BTJ is healthy, again, he's not Amon-Ra St. Brown, but he's got a really high week, and there's no more Christian Kirk. I mean, I think BTJ, at least once he gets back, he can be really productive. So yeah, I like going after Lamar in that move.
Ship left. QB Daniels makes a whole team here. Okay. Anyone I should go for to make this roster better? These are tough questions, guys, because nobody knows the complexities of your league and what they look like. But if I'm looking at a deficit here, you're weak at RB2. So you've got Jefferson, Reed, Devonta Smith, BTJ, Cooper Kupp just came back, McLaurin. You've got 2 tight ends. Everybody needs tight end. I would trade Otton off that big game. See if you could help out. Maybe put him and Chase Brown or him and Braylon Allen together so you can go up to a Brian Robinson Jr. or buy low on Chubb or take one of these wide receivers like Cooper Kupp, who just came back that you don't really need, and sell him for an RB. That's what I would do, Ship. What would you do?
I agree. I think packaging Kupp to try to get up to a running back. Maybe you do Chris McCaffrey. I don't know. You're an injured guy for my injured guy. My guy's healthier though, so.
Would you trade away Bigsby and Shakir for Ridley and JSN? This is from Pax.
No, I would not do that.
I wouldn't either. So that's 2 for 2 on that one. All right, let's get to Matt's question here. PPR RB2 is Chandler. Ugh. I have Tyreek, Tank, Downs, Mooney, Ladd, Tillman. What RB to target? Ladd for Bucky? Pollard? Ladd for Pollard, I feel much better about. I've got 1-on-1 offers for Rico, Javonte, and Warren. Warren's also an interesting guy to pick up. I would mind Warren.
You have plenty of wide receivers that are kind of in Ladd's territory. So if you can get Pollard, then that's fine. I mean, right now you don't have. I mean, Ty Chandler played like 3 snaps the last time. You don't have an RB2 right now.
You don't have an RB2.
You got to move one of those receivers.
Jet Set Row. Hey, y'all need an RB1. Stevenson, Dowdle, Brooks, Madison. Who should I trade for? My receivers are Puka, JJ, Evans, Tillman, J-Mo, McMillan, and Tolbert. So he's got Stevenson, Dowdle, Brooks. Yeah, you need a lot of RB help. I should say. Puka, JJ, stay put. Evans, Tillman, Jameson Williams would be the first guy off my island right now. He's got good numbers. He's got suspect issues around him. Tillman off the big game. I would try to sell high on quote unquote one of those 2 guys and just play Tolbert if I had to this week to get by. That's my plan.
I was going to say, you should try to get Dowdle for dirt cheap, but you already have Dowdle on your team. Man, this one's tough.
You could put Brooks with J-Mo and maybe get some. Again, it's the guys like Brian Robinson Jr., like guys who have touchdown equity. That's what I'd be looking for.
Yeah, the thing is, a lot of the running backs, there weren't a lot of screaming buy running backs this past week. I would say, I guess for maybe not this week, but Tyrone Tracy would be the guy I'd go after because he's hurt. He has a concussion.
That's a good one.
He's probably going to miss this week. But the Giants have 2 great matchups coming up. I believe that they play. So they play the Commanders this week. Next week, they play the Carolina Panthers in Germany. And Tyrone Tracy is going to run circles. Germany, the Germans are going to love Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, we love the Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, he's so good as a football. Loading Devon Achane for Montgomery.
No, I want Achane.
Okay, there you go. Seth's question here. Full PPR trade Puka for Kamara.
I'm sticking with Puka.
I was sick with Puka too. This is from Milan. Trade Flowers for Chubb. PPR, I have Olave, Smith, CD, Hopkins, McConkey. My RBs are Stevenson, Bigsby, and Irving. Flowers for Chubb. Yeah, I like that. I like Chubb last. Man, I think after the bye, those last 8 weeks, I want Chubb, or 7 weeks.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I agree.
What'd you think of how he looked last week?
He definitely looked better. I mean, that's the thing. He is the only.
He's the first guy to have 50 yards rushing against the Ravens this year. Fun fact.
Yeah, that is.
What do you think of that?
That is interesting. Yeah, and his yards per carry was up from last week.
Dropping stat bombs on my boy AE right here.
But I know that you looked that up because you traded for Nick Chubb, so you clearly did all your homework.
I did so much Nick Chubb homework for the last week because I've been looking to acquire him, and I'm just like watching the tape and watching all the things. Like, how's he look? And that was one of the way that team is constructed, though. I also have Pittman on that team. And now I feel like, okay, well, I could move Cedric Tillman because now Pittman gets second life. I have got more depth, right, at wide receiver all of a sudden. So everything is in the moments. It's not just the trade you make, it's the timing of the trade that matters so much. Our boy Awesome Dev here in a full PPR is Chuba, Diontae, and Amari fair for Mixon. Chuba, Diontae, and Amari. It is because it's so much. I mean, Amari's a pretty good player. And Diontae, yeah, it is. I don't think it's too much. I think it's all right, to tell you the truth.
Again, you got to get the trade done, and this is going to get the trade done. So
his team is decimated at wide receiver injuries, so you're giving them 2. Yeah. So this works.
3. Yeah, you're giving 2 startable options. Again, there's a lot of unknowns with all these new receivers on new NFL teams. Like, we don't know whether the talent is there with the players, but we'll see how it shakes out the rest of the season.
Another question from Dre. Trade Diontae Johnson for Tyrone Tracy, full PPR.
Yeah. Yes.
If you need the RB, I'm good with it. Ryan, would you trade Josh Jacobs and Devonta Smith for Breece Hall? Where are you at here? What's your Breece Hall temperature? What's your Jets temperature these days? Where are you at? Jets offense, prolific. I texted Andrew right after that game. And what did I text you, Andrew? Do you remember the words I texted you after the Jets lost to the Patriots?
Makes me happy or something?
No. I said my heart is full right now. That's what I texted you. What do you do? Jacobs and Devonta Smith for Breece Hall. I mean, theoretically, yeah. I want this. See if you can get a throw in.
Yeah, I would say again, if you're not using Diontae, essentially what is basically what he's saying, then yeah, I don't think that the gap between Breece Hall and Jacobs is nearly as big as it should be, and what I thought it would be entering the season. But
see if you get like a Tank Dell or a Lad McConkey.
Well, he's going to get something back off the waiver wire because he's going to have an open roster spot.
Or if not, if it's a tough league like that, Keon Coleman, like just get something that you're like, oh, I could start, like get Josh Downs, get Tillman, get something, in that deal. And if it's off the waiver wire, that's fine. That completes the trade, quote unquote. Let's get to Native. Did a trade giving Burrow and Tank Dell for Josh Allen and Montgomery. Thoughts? All right. Well, Burrow, Josh Allen, rest of season, like that's kind of a push. And then Tank Dell for Montgomery. I think that's okay. I mean, theoretically, everybody likes where Tank Dell's value could be rest of season with Diggs out. However, when Nico Collins comes back, there's just no guarantee that, I mean, Dell has not been as people hoped. There was a lot of Tank Dell people this year. I was team Nico, so I'm probably the wrong guy to answer this question, but what do you think?
I just think that there's no mystery with David Montgomery. All the guy does is score touchdowns. Like,
yeah,
you don't have to worry about, what's the role going to be? Like, what's going to happen?
He's your best RB2.
Yeah.
He's like giving him an RB2 every year, and I'm so happy.
He's just locked and loaded. I remember seeing a funny tweet. It was a picture of LaDainian and Tomlinson and basically a Lions running back this year when the other Lions running back's not playing.
Here's one from Danny. Jameson Williams for Tillman. Who would you rather have rest of season? I think I'd rather have Tillman.
Yeah, man, I feel like this could look bad depending on what this Jameson Williams things. Because this is an example of selling high on Tillman, or is JMO just so down now because
I think it's a better example of selling high on JMO.
See, but that's the thing. I don't disagree with you. So
it's hard not to. I mean, it's hard not to agree with me at this point. Sebi, do I start Keon Coleman or Chuba Hubbard or Judy on a PPR?
I'm starting Chuba Hubbard.
Okay. Watch the Brooks news. Keon Coleman is a viable
He just started practicing.
I know. Practicing in full, though. Full.
Okay.
So he's practicing in full. Then he's got at least 10 carries in him maybe this week. Then 5 to 10.
I would hard bet the under on 10 carries in his first game.
Well, it's a good thing we have a show where we do that. let's see what they come out. It probably won't be posted yet. James Baird, should I trade Noah Fant for Josh Downs, Khalif Raymond, or Jakobi Meyers? Josh Downs, 100%.
Please.
You can get him. Try Meyers.
I would take Meyers too, but if you can get Downs, yes, please. Connor,
trade my Chase Brown for Bucky Irving. No.
I want to keep Chase Brown.
Thielen or Leggett? How do you really feel about that?
This one's tough. I think my mind says that you just go with the rookie, right? I mean, that's got to be the right process.
Is again limited today. He did practice. I just saw.
That's the thing. I'm kind of slightly concerned about Thielen because he did have. I mean, he was productive at points last year. I don't know, man.
What about Jalen Coker?
Holy Cross, baby. Holy Cross,
Coker, Thielen, or Leggett? Who do you like rest of season? I just picked up Coker in a bunch of leagues.
I'm just gonna go with Leggett.
Just to irritate Derek. I don't even want him. I just want him in case he's good and he's never gonna see the light of day. And if he's bad, I'll drop him. I don't care. I just literally did it to piss off Derek. Nolan, because Till's like, who wants that guy? That offense is terrible, and they are. But some of these leagues are deep. You have no choice. Who are some good trades looking towards the playoffs? Looking as many, mainly a QB. I have Burrow, I have Burrow, RB, have Gibbs, James Cook with Brooks on the bench. Look, it's really tough, Nolan, to evaluate your team for trades when you give us 3 players. But I will say, Erickson, you guys do the podcast every week. Who are some of the buy lows that you were targeting this week?
Well, when in terms of scheduling to the playoffs, it's Eagles players. That's who you want on your team because the Eagles have the best stretch of matchups, not even just in specifically the fantasy football playoffs, but just in general. I would say during the exact fantasy football playoffs, the championships weeks, it's the Cowboys. Like I mentioned earlier in the show, Dak Prescott has a really good schedule. So Lamb, again, they don't have a lot of other usable pieces, but they're really cheap right now. For example, if Rico Dowdle's still the Dallas Cowboys starting running back, he could be productive because they play the Panthers in, I believe, week 15 or week 16.
All right, last 2 here. I traded CMC and Jaden Reed for Achane and Ridley. CMC and Reed for Achane and Ridley. I don't love this, I'll be honest with you. I don't like this at all.
This one you could look brilliant if CMC ends up just never returning, but
I don't like giving up Reed. I think it's like
that's
twofold.
kind of the issue there.
You got to ask us before you make the trades.
I think the CMC for Achan is more. Okay. I think that's more of a move I would make.
That's fair. That one's all right. It's moving Reed and getting back Ridley. That's not enough.
Yeah,
that's too much upside going one way. Yeah. If CMC and Reed both play, that you're sending a championship maybe somewhere. Yeah. Kobe, last question here. Great show, guys. Thanks, Kobe, for hanging out with us. Trading proposal: Tua, Tyreek, Pickens for Purdy and Jefferson. Ooh, okay. So Purdy and Tua. So basically, this is Tyreek and Pickens for Jefferson. It's a super flex though. Rest of season. Oh my goodness, this is a lot of moving pieces here. It really depends on what quarterbacks you have left too, who your other QBs are. But let's try to do this as best we can in a vacuum. Purdy, you're taking a hit with this week because you can't play him. Jefferson, obviously, is the best player in the deal. I want the best player of the deal. Give me the Jefferson side.
Yeah, I think I agree. And I think that, I think Purdy's significantly better than Tua is in terms of what he can offer for fantasy.
Maybe his CMC is going to help a lot. All those run after catch stuff.
His schedule is also much better. They play week 17. They play the Lions in the fantasy football championships. That's a game that could get all the points for all the marbles, for all the monies. And you're going to want to have Brock Purdy on your team
and all the marbles. Don't forget, everybody, if you're hanging out with us, drop your comments below and you might just be the winner here, either live or after the show's over. Comments are still good. If you want to win the wall smack from Trophy Smack, again, subscribe to the YouTube channel here at Fantasy Pros. Ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications. Drop your comments below, and you're automatically entered to win the Trophy Smack giveaway of the week, the wall smack. Also, don't forget, if you need more help with your trades, use the trade analyzer over on My Playbook. Go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook, or just download the app wherever you get your apps and use the trade analyzer and all the tools. Sync your leagues for free. It's still free, everybody. It was free in the summer. It's free in the fall. Use the My Playbook tools and also join the conversation on our Discord. Don't forget, we've got shows live there. Out of Bounds, The Extra Point, 2 p.m. on Mondays, Out of Bounds with me, Bogman and Welsh. I wanted you to hang out with us, ask your questions. Come be on the shows. We'll make you famous. Again, fantasypros.com/chat. That's our Discord. Download that. And that is our show for today. Great stuff from everybody. Appreciate all of you hanging out. That'll do it for us. But the story of the game goes on. For Andrew Erickson, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. So many questions about Waddle today, too. Makes me start to wonder. I sent you a Warren trade. You never even looked at it, did you, Erickson?
I did, but then it was recanted or canceled before.